everyone, welcome back to my YouTube Talks. And as you know, I'm your host Sam, and thank you for joining me here today. We are going to talk about an old approach to sound stock investments for your consideration. So stick around for the entire video so you can learn more. If you could please subscribe and hit the notification bell for future educational videos like this one, we would sure appreciate it. I'm going to tell you how myself, some billionaires, and others that I know buy stocks. Honestly, I'm surprised that no one is talking about this old strategy. It's been around for a long time. My investment strategy is simple, and I call it the top 9 dinos. Allow me to explain. What I mean by that is the top 9 most profitable companies in the world. Investing in the top 9 companies in the world is the safest strategy. In addition, it is the wisest and the least time-consuming. Just by nature, them being a dinosaur, you know nothing too bad is going to happen. It's a pretty sound and stable investment. You can just buy some stocks and leave them alone. You can act like they're not even there. No need for all this silliness and waste of time with the day trading. You have more important things to do than to try to gain a few dollars for a ton more headaches. Day trading is a high risk, a low reward, and lots of effort and time wasted. However, if it is something that you are interested in doing, then I suggest having an investment firm that can back you up. Otherwise, it might be better to stay out of that game. Just go for the top 9 companies that make the most money. They are the safest bet, because if some major issues occur, then they have the means to get through it. Also, these companies merge with undervalued, healthy young companies, which makes the stock go up even more. Investing in companies like these ones are the safest play, and you could just buy the stocks and forget about them. Think of your stock more like an additional bank account. You put your extra money there, and that's the money that you have no use for, and you just call it, say, a rainy day fund, and you forget that this money even exists. Then several years down the road, you will glance at it and see a nice return. And this is a game of patience, folks. Keep in mind, these top 9 earner stocks will be pricey, but for a good reason. They have lots of assets and lots of profits, but it is worth the investment. However, there will be some stock volatility because of the inflation and the Fed tightening. So that will create a lot of fear this year. Also, at some point or another, every company will go through a disaster, such as a lawsuit or a downturn of some kind of big proportions. But please keep in mind, not every business will survive. On the other hand, if you take a look at these 9 dinos, they all survived these downturns and disasters. So we all know that they are good in those types of waters. This strategy is more of a risk analysis management than any other strategy. It has been proven. You can look at all the companies' history to see what they have gone through, and I promise that you will understand why it is a safe bet. You should do your research and find out who these top 9 dinos are and put your money in a sound investment strategy, not a strategy that gets you in for a small gain in the short term. Stocks are very complicated, complex financial instruments. This is not something that you can learn overnight. And this is why I'm giving you this simple method. It has been used in the past by lots of people. And for some strange reason, this method has been abandoned for some time, but I still use it. And I don't intend on changing it in the future. For myself in particular, I look at this stock market investment as an additional savings account. For me, this method works very well, and so far I've not lost any money this way. Once again, stocks are very complex and complicated financial instruments. There is no easy way for anyone to predict a result or a crash. Any financial analyst can point out stresses in the system, and that is all anyone can tell you. There was never anyone that came out publicly on the radio station or a TV claiming that on this date, on this time, at this hour, at this minute, like a crash was going to happen. Nobody has ever done that. There is not any specific method that can predict when something bad will happen. If there was, then no one would ever lose money in stocks or real estate whatsoever. And clearly, that is not the case. I also see that people use stocks as an income strategy. Now, if you want to make money, stocks are really not the best option. Make a business instead, or partner up with someone to make a business, and you will make a lot more money like that. The key to making money is managing risk. Stocks, to some point or another, are very risky, but they're very lucrative as well. Now, if you do open a business, the risks are in your control. You can dial it in to more or less risk, depending on your flavor. However, there is also another strategy to invest in stocks if you don't have thousands of dollars lying around to buy stocks from those top 9 dinos. You can talk to your local pastor. No, seriously, I'm saying you can talk to your local pastor. You know, most churches invest money in Christian indexes for the pastor's retirement funds. So you may not make a whole lot of money in these Christian stocks, but I've never seen a pastor go bankrupt, have you? If you're just starting out in investing in these stocks, you can probably buy some of these Christian stocks for tens of dollars or maybe hundreds of dollars. Your profit margin may be low, but the risk will be low as well. This is just another avenue for you to think about if the top 9 dinos are out of your budget. So talk to your local pastor and ask, Pastor, can you tell me, what your retirement fund is invested in? Because I would like to get into those stocks myself. I don't really think the pastor would have any issue with telling you what stocks that he's invested in. Most people invest in stocks nowadays because it's not really worth it to keep your money in a regular bank account anymore due to the very low interest. The highest interest I've ever seen was less than 2%. With the stocks, you can make about 7 to 8% average interest per year, but the top 9 dinos, they always perform better than most of the stocks, so you'll get the upper hand in the stock gain. Also worth mentioning, some of these 9 dinos give yearly dividends to their stockholders. A lot of people I know, including myself, only look at our stock portfolio maybe once a year, if that. Stock analysis to me is just boring, and it is not even done by brokers anymore. It's done mostly by the AI or some other type of analysis software. So everything that is being reviewed daily is the AI reports, and of course you have discussions on strategies. All you need for stocks is a good, safe way to set your money aside, and these 2 strategies are a good choice, either the top 9 dinos or your local Christian company indexes. I can assure you there is several Christian indexes, but there's not too many. I will briefly mention also penny stocks in here as well. Those are pretty simple. Unless you're looking to lose money or go nowhere, then I suggest you stay away. The biggest problem in the financial industry is that there is still some fraud happening, so you don't really have a way to know which companies are doing fraud and which ones are not, unless, of course, you work for them. But this is why the best way to avoid all of this is just to use the 9 dinos or the Christian method, and then you can avoid all the potential frauds, headaches, and wasted time. Well, I hope that you guys have picked up something that you can learn here today. And if you did, then I'm really glad I could help you out. And thanks for your time. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.